But we're going to begin with Kate Gosselin. It has been 7 weeks since the reality star announced her separation from John. Our live exclusive interview is just ahead. But first, a look back at what has been a rocky few months for the mother of 8.
Kate and I have decided to separate.
After months of speculation, John and Kate Gosselin announced their separation on the June 22nd episode of their TLC reality show, John and Kate Plus 8.
I'm not very fond of the idea, personally, but I know it's necessary.
While the show took a brief hiatus after the announcement, giving the family a chance to regroup, they still made headlines as each started their separate lives.
It is not their fault that what has transpired has transpired.
John and Kate have tried to keep some sense of normalcy, even spending 4th of July as a family.
They love it here. This is their house.
Go!
We bought this house for them, not for us.
I will remain here as well during my portion of having them. John will also come here when it is his days, and we will flip-flop that way.
Last week, TLC began airing new episodes again, and many wondered how the separation would be handled.
It's kind of strange that, we're remodeling our kitchen in the middle of our separation and stuff like that. But, it's something that we already planned beforehand.
But how will all this change affect the kids?
Many times every day it occurred to me, this was minus John. I mean, it was a constant thought on my mind. And while the kids had a great time, they mentioned it numerous times that they wish Daddy could have been here.
Oh, no! We have to start over!
For now, life and the show must go on.
I'm in this new age of, if I've never grilled before, I'm going to grill. If I've never camped before, I'm going to camp. It might take me a while, but I can figure it out. I can do things that I have never done before.
Kate Gosselin, good morning.
Good morning.
The last time we sat down here in May, there were rumors, speculation about your marriage. So much has changed since then has happened. You announced your separation in June, filed for divorce, both of you, and now you were in this hiatus, basically, figuring out your lives from this point on. How are you doing?
I am as well as can be expected. Thank you. I'm determined to hang in there. What life hands me, I'm going to do and deal with. And my focus still, as I've always said, as I will always say, is the health and well-being of my children as well as myself.
After the separation, you told People magazine, on a good day, I feel relief. On a bad day, I feel failure. What are you feeling these days?
A lot of, it's just life handing me unexpected things. And, I wake up and I feel a lot of failure. This is not what any mother sets out for her children. This does not feel like the best for them. It's necessary. It has to take place. And I think that I've turned the focus on myself. And in looking ahead and then in retrospect, I want my children to see a mother who is committed to her children, who is determined, who has integrity, perseverance, and never gives up. I want my children to see that everything I've done for them is out of love.
I notice that you still have on your wedding ring. Why is that, Kate?
For them. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't want to upset them. While I've been very real and as honest as I need to be, I don't want to shock them. I've walked slowly through this with them. Thank you.
Sure.
As they've asked questions, I've answered them.
Do they understand that you and John are separated and what that means, and that you've...
They do. We've had to go over it a few times.
Yeah.
Kara came to me a few weeks ago.
Kara's one of the twins, the
Yes,
older daughters.
turning 9, and she said, but you said it would be difficult but turn out happy. When we sat them down and talked to them, I told her the announcement was something that was going to be hard, but it was going to turn out okay. And she took okay to mean as, I guess, that we were going to be, John and I were going to be okay in the end. And so I've done it gently and walked. I just feel like that is the best thing for them, to walk slowly through it. And she agreed when I discussed it with her. There's more peace in the house. It's happier in that way. And
because there was fighting before?
There was.
Yeah.
And there was, clearly his goals are not my goals. And so we just needed to work that out.
So you're not keeping the ring on at all because you hold out any hope about you and John?
No, I think it's very clear that we are two different people at this point with two different sets of goals. And I am wearing the ring, because it's been there for 10 years, and just because the kids still see it, they've seen it their whole lives, and they know that that's my married to daddy ring. And when the time is right, I will take it off. I've done a trial of a day here or there.
Does it feel strange to you to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very gradual. And I just want all of this to be very gradual, so that my goal is to preserve them in the most healthy way possible.
Kate, let's talk a little bit about the timeline, because when you announced your separation, it was June 22nd, but recently John said in an interview that you were the one who gave up on the marriage last October, that you're the one who said, "I am done." Is that true?
No. Clearly, we both have completely different takes on what happened between us. But I feel like the details of that, for the sake of my kids, need to remain private.
Can you share with us at all when you realized that the marriage was over, that it just was not going to work?
There was a timeline. I think that we both realized mutually that our goals were different, that our hopes and dreams had become different, and it was very mutual, if anything.
By the time there were all those rumors swirling about John with other women, when I sat down with you in May, had he already moved out of the house by that point, Kate?
To be very honest, I don't remember. There's so much going on, and just so much going on. I honestly don't remember at what point that took place. I knew that for many months prior to that, he was not home a lot. So I don't know, it kind of was a gradual thing. So I don't know, like, a date that it occurred.
As opposed to one day he just disappeared and moved someplace else.
Right. So...
And now we are hearing from him that he had started up a relationship in May with this young woman, Hailey Glassman, 22 years old, who is the daughter of the doctor that came to you, helped you out with a tummy tuck after you gave birth to the sextuplets. When did you first hear about that? Were you shocked at that revelation, that he started seeing her in May?
I was shocked, but it's those things, to be very honest, that's his life, and they don't affect me directly at this point.
But it's got to be hurtful.
It is hurtful.
Yeah.
It's very hurtful, and to be very honest, the most hurtful part is when his decisions directly affect our children. That's the hardest part for me.
In what sense? When you say his decisions directly affect the kids?
Well, I feel like, they're his decisions. They might not be ones that I would make.
So if it had been your choice, then, Kate, this never would have happened?
Gosh, who can go back and change? Obviously, ideally, parents stay married. And, I go back very often to our vow renewal in Hawaii. I think very often of it. And in that moment, I meant those vows. And there was no option for us other than to be together. And, so much changed.
That marriage is a two-way street, divorce is a two-way street. What role do you think you played, if any, in what happened?
Nobody's perfect. I was not perfect. Nobody's perfect in a marriage. In life, no parent is perfect. Obviously, it takes two. And I don't know, to be honest. What would I go back and change? It's hard to say.
Does any part of you still love him?
When I think back to the John that I knew, yes. Suffice it to say.
Kate, I thank you for joining us this morning. You're actually going to come back in the next half hour. There are a lot of rumors circulating about you as well, and we want to know especially how the kids are doing, because everybody loves your kids. They're fantastic, and see what's going to happen with the show as well. So we'll be back with more in about half an hour.